Vision precision is an all-new gameplay mechanic this year meant to emulate kind of a quarterback's vision on the field. It also gives him the added control over where he's going to put it around his intended target. You have a vision cone that's actually drawn on the field. You can move it a couple different ways. You simply look at your target, deliver the ball, and while you're delivering the ball, you can place it high, low, left, or right.
It just makes it more realistic. It makes it like you're actually being a quarterback in the NFL.
In real life, we're able to drop back and put the ball where we need to put it. You know, if it's low, it's high, right shoulder, left shoulder. And with the new game, it allows you to do that.
Vision precision came from kind of lots of group meetings with our production staff, lots of meetings with the development staff, lots of feedback from the community. We wanted to touch on an area of the game that hasn't been touched in some time, which was passing. And no game has ever emulated the field of vision of a quarterback, so we wanted to kind of put something in the passing game, something that was innovative, something that was real to the NFL. We watched some NFL broadcasts, and we noticed that quarterbacks have to make the right reads, they have to go through the progressions.
And that's the reality of it. You've got to see what's going on. You've got to recognize it pre-snap and then confirm it post-snap.
The physics behind the actual movement was determined by play testing, prototyping, getting some feedback early on. We wanted to make sure it was very easy to use so that you could actually pick up and use this feature without having too much practice.
It's definitely going to be a lot more to think about when you're playing the game, but I think it's neat, because it is an aspect of the game, being able to see where you're throwing, because if you're not looking where you're throwing, you're not going to complete it.
The defense can see the vision cone. It's actually drawn on the field for everybody to see. And early on that was kind of a concern for us, but we found through prototyping, through play testing, that you can actually use it as a tool against the defense. So if you're always looking at your target and throwing to him, that's a bad thing. In the NFL, if a quarterback does that, he gets penalized because the defense is able to jump his passes. So in Madden, just like the NFL, you need to look off your targets.
I think there's a bunch of different traits that have to go into being a quarterback, but if you don't have vision, you don't last very long.
If you're a great quarterback and you're looking off your defense, you'll be successful. If you're looking at one target from snap to pass, you're going to have trouble.
It's a new mode that most of us would love to play with, especially the quarterbacks on our teams.
We understand that there are going to be some that are a little nervous about this feature. We're touching passing, which is a critical gameplay element. Lots of people love to pass the ball. So for that, we've tuned it on each different skill level first. So on rookie mode, the penalty for not using your vision isn't as severe as it is on all Madden. On pro level, which is the default level, it's actually you can use the feature and be successful, or you can choose to not use it and still not be penalized too much. So as you kind of move up the skill levels and you get to all Madden mode, you'll have to become a master at this particular mode. There is an option to turn it off under settings, so if you find that you're struggling with the mechanic, you really can't figure out, you can turn this particular gameplay mode off.
It's going to be fun. I think everybody's going to enjoy it.
Madden's typically been dominated by the fast quarterbacks. That's no longer the case. Now it's dominated by the aware quarterbacks that have a big field of vision.
In my opinion, you don't have to have the strongest arm. You don't have to be the fastest guy out there, but you have to read and recognize what's going on.
Vision precision changes the offense in a couple different ways. First, it actually makes you have to make reads. It forces you to go through your progressions while dropping back to pass. You also have to look at your targets before you throw it. In previous versions, you could actually drop back, throw to a target that was completely in the other side of the field, and there was no real penalty for doing that. Now there is a penalty for that.
In most video games, you can just hit a button, the quarterback will just throw it wherever he wants. Now, you really got to know what's going on. You really got to understand the game.
If you throw to a receiver that's not within your vision cone, what will actually happen is you won't have the precision placement that you normally have, so you won't be able to put the ball high, low, left, or right. As well, you won't be able to accurately throw the pass. So if you do throw to somebody outside your vision, the pass won't be where you want it to go, and it'll be more likely to be intercepted by the defense.
As you come into the league, your first year, you're looking through a window that's this big, but as you put in years and years in experience, you're able to see more and more, and the vision kind of expands. To be successful in this league, you have to have vision.
Great quarterbacks will have a very big field of vision. Poor quarterbacks will have a very small field of vision. The biggest rating that goes into determining the size of the vision code is the awareness. So the higher the awareness, the bigger the vision code. But when looking at a quarterback's awareness rating overall, we do look at a lot of things. We look at his past, we look at his previous season. We also try to predict what he's going to be doing this season based on his schedule and the current personnel around him. So Peyton Manning, for example, has a very high awareness rating in our game, and as a result, his field of vision is the biggest in Madden. He can almost see the entire field, so you don't have to move the vision all that much. You go to a Michael Vick, who's got great speed, but not the best passer in the league. His vision cone is actually very small. So in previous versions, our fans would lean towards Michael Vick or Donovan McNabb because they could throw and they had speed. So those that have speed are now just as effective with their speed, but if they don't have a great field of vision in real life, they will have a very poor field of vision in our game, which makes them a little more challenging to use in Madden.
I personally can never play using myself because I was never fast enough. Now that takes a little bit of the speed factor out of it. Still wish my rating, and when I train to work out and run, it's not for the season. It's just so I have a better rating on Madden. I mean, let's be honest, okay? Now it's not as important, so maybe I don't have to run as hard this off season because you got the awareness thing. It's good. We're good to go.
A lot of armchair quarterbacks in Madden, and they say, well, you hear them talking like, I would have did this, would have did that. Now they get on Madden. Well, let's see what you're going to do.
Like, if it's in the game.
It's in the game.
It's in the game.
It's in the game. EA Sports. It's in the game.